All right, welcome everybody. I am back today with my good friend Stas Solomon, who has been on multiple times before. I know you recognize him, and so he is back today to share some tips on how to manage a renovation. So welcome, Stas. Glad to have you, man.
Chad, I'm pumped to be here. Thank you for having me on again.
All right. Man, it's been a little while. This COVID business, I haven't been seeing you in person as much. It's been more online.
I know, but it all changes Tuesday. So I'll be there, for the meeting. So
All right. Awesome. Tuesday's the day. I'll look forward to it.
that's right.
So, so there's a lot going on with your business right now. And, keeping up and catching up with you, you're going to managing multiple projects, which is huge. And a lot of people I know can't get to that level, right? A lot of people get successful at managing one, but can never make the jump to managing multiple. So
Yeah, it's a trip once you start multiple jobs. A lot of if you don't have the right people, it's a challenge.
yeah, and I know for me, a huge hurdle with anything that I want to do, right? If I'm trying to learn a new skill or a new system, if I've never seen an example of it, it's really hard for me to figure out how that even comes about. So I think it'll be insightful for people to hear from you on how you do it, what your background is, just to get a glimpse of what that looks like, right?
Yeah.
So fill us in your background because you had a job with that role, right? That
hmm
really gave you the experience to feel confident going into what you're doing now. So what was that job and really what did it entail?
Well, it actually all started out when I was 20. I bought my first house, had no idea how to rehab, nothing. But it just made a whole lot of sense to buy. I put some roommates in there, and that's really how it started. Arthur actually, this was in Virginia. Arthur came down, and me and him did our first house together. We did the bathroom, and we did a kitchen in like 3 days. And
Oh man,
yeah, a lot of beer drinking, a lot of not sleeping, but we got it done.
that's awesome.
So yeah, from there on, once I got out of the military, or once I was getting out of the military, I did an internship. It was 6 months to where I followed around a construction project manager. And our job was to renovate bank-owned foreclosures. So this was in New Jersey, and we probably done about 8 or 9 properties during that 6 months. That's really where I learned the systems, how to use Excel, how to have, the right kind of spreadsheets to where you can budget work, the Gantt charts, just to kind of, you can schedule people and get a big overview picture of the project. After I got out of the military, after the internships, they gave me a job here in Columbus, and they just opened up the market. So I did that for like 8 or 9 months, and then our business just took off, and I was losing all my hair trying to keep up with it. So I had to give it up. We just got way too busy.
Sure. I figured there was a story behind the hair loss. There had to be.
It's definitely not hereditary.
So for everybody not familiar, what is a Gantt chart? Because I think that is a key tool.
It's basically a visualization, so it helps you to plan work. It breaks the job down into small tasks, and then you can assign that, and then from there on, you can kind of keep a good eye on what's going on, and it helps you plan people. So if you have, say, our next project, right, needs a new roof, it doesn't make sense for you to have the roofer start on such a day and then have brand new drywall in there if you got holes in your roof, right? So it just keeps everything straight. It's you could look at it and just kind of refresh of where you're at, and it also keeps you on schedule.
Sure. So what software or what tool do you use for that? How do you build yours?
I use Excel.
Excel,
It's
really?
yep.
That's awesome. That- I mean, that's so easy. So now I'm really curious because I've never done that on Excel.
Yeah, there's a ton of templates out there. The one that I picked up, I got from my previous work. So, it just works. It makes sense.
Okay.
I borrowed some ideas from that and kind of worked on it to improve it, to make it work more for us in our market.
Okay. So if I Google like Excel Gaunt templates, something like that, there are templates out there.
Yeah, there's actually software out there where it can walk you through the whole job. So you punch it in, you can punch in like right now we're in a family room. So you could punch in, I need 3 brand new outlets. I need a new ceiling fan. I need to paint this room, and maybe I need to replace a window. And then, it will crunch numbers and give you an idea of what your bid should be. So it makes things a whole lot simpler.
Cool. All right. Yeah, and I didn't say you are on location right now
Right
on the
now,
job site tuning in. And it's
fixing
looking good.
problems. Yep.
So so what are you doing now? How many jobs are you running? How's that working currently with your business?
So right now we're only down to two. That's the one that I'm in now, which went on the market today. If you guys want to see that one is 112 Roosevelt here in Springfield. Um, you guys could take a look at that. That's the house I'm in now, and we're selling one of our rentals right now. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, in my opinion, to be a landlord.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
cutting directly to the heart, man.
I'm hurting them.
I don't know what I'd do without my landlording. Come on, that's me. But yeah,
No, no, right now it just makes sense to flip. There is no inventory out there. Right now you can't kick tenants out, even if they're not paying, It's the environment is against landlords. So if you could cash out right now, the market is sky high. That's something that we're doing. We're just taking that money and using that for flips
sure.
and
Yeah,
less headaches.
what types of flips are you doing? I know once you get it on the market, man, it's gone because there's no inventory. But
Exactly.
are you doing like massive rehabs right now, more cosmetic type things? What types of projects?
So right now we're doing mostly cosmetic stuff. By cosmetic, I mean we would replace windows, replace the roof, replace the siding, but we're not doing the jobs like half the house burnt down. We're gonna wreck it and then rebuild it. We've done that in the past, and um, you got to be real good for that. Uh, you got to have a lot of patience. You got to know a lot of stuff. You got to know a lot of people, and it's just for me, it's too time consuming. So I like these quick jobs, quick
Yeah.
turns.
Last flip I did was we converted a garage into a fourth bedroom and moved the washer dryer, and it was on a slab. I was like, never
Woo!
again. I'm done, man. So yeah, the cosmetic one. That's the way to go. I like it.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
definitely. I mean, and then I think it's so much easier. It's hard to get like a structural engineer out to a place to assess everything. There's all these inspections and everything like that. But you could get a painter and the guy to do hardwood floors, off the internet. It's so much easier. No specialized knowledge. Let's BS.
yeah, sure. All right. So fill us in, how many people are involved in this typical rehab? Are you hands-on at all? Are you just acting as kind of the general contractor overseeing the subs? What's your role in that big picture process?
So in the past, we've done everything. I've been, when we can't find good people and we're in a pinch, I'll go on the job and, I'll knock it out myself. The directions that we're moving towards is we're just bringing on a GC, Eric. So he's
Okay.
going to be handling our next project. That way, it kind of frees us up. But we've done plenty of stuff in the past. On this particular job that I'm in, we had a crew for painting and hardwood floors. We had our granite guy come in and do this thing. I have this wonderful lady who comes in and stages everything. Um, and then we have a finish guy, which we're very lucky to have. This guy's amazing. He'll fix all the small stuff that we need to do. And basically, that's it. I had to do, kind of very little on this job,
That's
short
awesome.
of supervising.
Yeah. And that's really not that many people,
Yeah.
for rehab. That's great. So I guess let's nail down a little bit of the specifics of the process, with you and your projects. What's the order you like to do things in? Um, how do you stack? Do you have more than one person working in the house at a time? Do you only schedule them so that they're, offset times? What exactly is your process laying that project out and then seeing it through?
So typically, we try to have multiple people on the job. Sometimes contractors bump heads though. Um,
Yeah,
it's
I've had some of those too, getting the calls and they're like trying to rat the other guy out. And I'm like, good grief,
right,
I feel like a babysitter here. What's going on?
right, and then they nitpick each other's work, and then they're
Yeah.
like, "This is not right," and the other guys are like, "This is not right." Um, yeah, basically, I try to have multiple people on the job in different areas. So typically, what I do is I give a contractor a space. So like this bathroom that was added on, that was one individual that did that. Well, one crew that did that. So they put the studs up, they put the drywall up, they did the plumbing, they did the electric, they did the flooring, the vanity, the toilet, everything that's in that room and on the outside the door, everything is them. That way, they're not stepping on each other's toes, um, and yeah, that's about it. But for like painting, I have a painting crew. I have some guys. I'll do some hardwood floors. I have a guy who does specifically, electrical and plumbing. He's licensed. He's great. Um, Guy's a magician.
So with your process, do you like to start with the exterior? I feel like some people like to start with the exterior and get it looking really good on the outside. Other people like to do that last, and that's like what means it's ready to show. What tasks do you like to do first?
Well, our process typically goes like this. So if it needs a new roof, that's the very first thing that we do. If there's any foundation work. So basically, first is all the structural stuff. After that, we do the cosmetics. So we'll replace the windows and do the trim and whatnot. After that, we move inside the house. If there's any demo that needs to be inside the house, any electrical work, any plumbing work, of course, haul out is probably the most important, just so you can see everything that's wrong. And after that, we do, we start doing the stuff to make the house pretty. So the paint, we'll do flooring is always last, always, always, always. Um, yeah, and then granite's last too, appliances and all that stuff.
Okay. And do you normally do much like with landscaping, anything like that?
Yeah, my wife actually does it. She loves it. So we'll bring out a pot of colorful plants. I feel like it adds just so much to yeah. So it adds a whole lot of contrast and makes it pop.
Awesome. All right. So, when you lay it out like that, sounds pretty linear, right? Starting with the roof, we're getting it sealed up, weather tight, and then working into the cosmetics and then making it look real pretty at the end, flooring, landscaping. What are the secrets to having multiple jobs going at once? How do you make the jump?
Well, you have to have two sets of crews, I would say. It's having multiple people helps a lot. Uh, try to avoid the one man band kind of people who go out there and promise you the world, and all your hopes, all your dreams, all of your profits depend on them. So if you're going to do multiple jobs, have multiple people. You want redundancy. You don't want to be caught off guard, somebody's sick, or they just disappear with your money. Um, Also, I'd say if you're going to do multiple jobs, it's important to stay organized. Um, have your paperwork, take pictures of the job when you're walking through it, originally. That way you can explain to your contractor exactly what you need done. Um, you could use like the little pen thing, and you could like circle like the butcher block that's broken. You could be like, this one right here, I need you to replace this one. Um, yeah, just good communication. So photos, good communications, and staying organized, super important.
And how do you handle with your contractors you work with now? How do you handle picking up materials? Who pays for materials? Do you give any money up front? When do they receive the final payoff?
Yeah. So the best lesson that you're ever going to learn is never pay up front.
You learn it the easy
Unless
way or the hard way, right?
unless you know them very well, unless they have something to lose. I mean, there's so many people out there who are going to promise you the world, ask you for a deposit, and take advantage of you more or less. As far as materials, we purchase all the materials. We do a phone sale. By the way, with Lowe's, they will no longer do a phone sale with you unless you have the LER, like the Lowe's card. So,
Really?
I just figured that out yesterday.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, I feel like when you buy materials, it's more honest that way because you can see the receipts. I get all the receipts in my inbox, in my email, so I can go through with it, and then I could check everything. I'm making sure that we're not buying like 55-gallon of paint or something like that, or a whole bunch of blinds that are somehow magically going to disappear. Even if you trust someone, it's always good to just keep an eye on them. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your company.
Yeah. The more transparency, the better. Even if you do know
It,
them really well, I feel like you just don't have that second guessing going on.
yeah.
So one issue I've run into personally with a couple contractors. So we do the big phone sale, and then they pick up all the materials, and then a day later they forgot two things, and then a day later they forgot one thing, and it turns into a constant headache of phone sales. How do you handle, you know, other smaller purchases?
Well, I'm on the job. I'm pretty active with managing on the job site, so I'm probably on the job site every other day. For some jobs, this one's super close to my house, so I am here every day. So if I have a very good idea of what my expectations are. So if I'm at Lowe's or Home Depot, now Home Depot, I will usually just pick it up, whatever I need, whatever material that is necessary. Tubes
Okay.
of caulk, flooring, whatever, doorknobs. Like I'm getting it.
I mean, that's good to keep your guys on the house, right? And working on the project. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
sure. All right. Well, any other final tips? Anything that you think is a hurdle that most people struggle with running multiple jobs?
Yes, this is crucial. So unless you have worked with a contractor for quite a while, us investors, do not pay somebody out just because they send you photos. Okay, don't do it. I have so many examples of contractors who selectively, take images to make it look like the job is done, but I mean it's half finished. I had a guy who painted half of my basement and the guy like selectively took pictures of the basement to make it look like it was ready. And then I go down there the next morning, and this guy texts me at 8 o'clock at night. He's like, "Hey, can I stop by your house, get paid, whatever?" And I'm like, "No, dude. Like, I got to take a look at it." He's like, "Well, here's pictures." So I go down there the next day. It is terrible. Also, I mean, like, something might look good on in pictures. Like, I had some cabinets get painted in a kitchen, and then the inside was like pure slop, unbelievable. It was no tape. It was just, I mean, it was all over the place. I mean, it's incredible, incredible. Or like, say a house is getting painted, they're painting the windows. Like, what if the windows get painted shut? You can't see that kind of stuff over
Mm,
pictures. So this is one of those things you gotta go over there. You gotta put your hands on the product. You gotta take a look. Don't pay somebody out just because they sent you some pictures. You're gonna get really hurt.
that's huge. Yeah, verify, verify, verify everything. And
Yes.
I think too, some contractors have a tendency to try to put their issues on you or us as the one hiring them. You know, my guys need paid. I need the money tonight so that I can pay my guys, something like that. And
Yeah.
I I used to try to help them out, but now it's like, man, no, that's you're the contractor, you're running your business, I'm running mine. Here are the rules for how my business runs. The rest is your responsibility. So,
You probably don't want to work with those kind of people, honestly.
yeah.
Like, if that's the situation, you're probably dealing with the wrong guy. And it
Good
took us a
call.
while to figure it took us a while to figure that out, because we were working.
All right, man. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Okay, I got to step up my contractors. All right. I think it is true. It is true. The class of people you're dealing with greatly affects how good a job they do and how many headaches are caused to you, for sure. So,
Definitely.
yeah. All right. So, what do you guys foresee moving forward, man? In this crazy
So
market, are you going to be busting out more flips? What's the plan moving ahead?
all day and night. We're trying to get as many as many flips as we can get our hands on. Just it makes sense.
Do you think at this point there's a limit to the number of projects you can do at a time?
Um, I would think right now at where we're at, I would think about 3 or 4 would really be pushing it. I think there's more, but you have to think about it like, what are you willing to sacrifice for that success? Is it worth you like missing time with your kids, or you hanging out with your wife? Um, to me, not really. Um, we could be doing a lot more, but I think there's more important things than money out there. Once you make enough money, like enjoy life a little bit.
That's right. Yeah.
It's not worth dying over.
No, no, for sure. True wealth is well rounded, right? It means having a good family and financial success, having a business and still having friends. You know, I don't think you can sacrifice one for the other and be successful, truly successful. So I
And
agree with you.
that's exactly why we brought you on as a consultant, to look at our business and try to free us up some time.
That's awesome. Yeah. And did it
Yeah, I'm really
help?
glad you came out. You were willing to help us out. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm always glad to help for sure. So, all right. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Always good to catch up with you, man. Appreciate the tips for people on how to run rehabs effectively and how to do multiple jobs. So, always, what's the best way for people to reach out to you if they have a question or want to keep up with what you guys are doing?
So I don't have social media besides LinkedIn. You guys can find me on LinkedIn. It's STAS Solomon, SOLOMON. My direct cell phone number, if you guys have questions, or If there's anything I can help you with, is area code is 312-898-3968.
All right.
As far as keeping up with us on the projects that we're doing, we have a Facebook page. I'm not on it much. It's Comfort Living LLC, and basically Arthur's realtor page. He posts all of our projects, so you guys can go out there and, there's Facebook Lives and behind the scenes, and we just interviewed like a granite guy who's doing our granite. So.
All right, cool. Yeah, Arthur puts out a lot of content on what projects you guys are doing. He's good at that. So, all right,
Yes, yeah.
encourage everybody to keep up. Oh, with Stas and Arthur crushing it in Springfield, Ohio market, and I look forward to seeing you, Stas, on Tuesday, back in person.
All right, Chad. Well, thank you, and I'll see you Tuesday.
All right.